Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Eurocase Conference 2021, hosted by the UK's Royal Academy of Engineering. This year's theme is Engineering to Build Back Better. My name is Yasmin Ali, and I'm delighted to be joining you as your host for the next 2 days. I'm a chemical engineer by background, and I now work as an Innovation Programme Manager in the UK's Government Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. My role is to support technical solutions to help us get to net zero by 2050. I'm excited to join this event as we explore how the engineering profession can help us build a more sustainable and resilient future. Over the next 2 days, we'll be joined by some of the best researchers and engineering professionals from across the UK and Europe who will share ideas, expertise and experience, and we'll explore how the engineering community can play their role in helping Europe to build back better. We're really delighted to have so many of you joining us in this virtual environment, and we hope that you'll enjoy the opportunity to engage with our speakers and the other attendees through our panel and breakout discussion sessions. I would like to encourage you to join in, so do ask lots of questions and engage with us as much as you can. Before we begin, I've got some general housekeeping to go through. Throughout the conference, if you would like to ask questions to the panel, just type your questions into the Q&A box, which is below the live stream, and click send. If you see a question that you like that someone else has asked, then you can upvote it and that will bring it to the top of my screen. So I'll make sure to capture all of those questions. The other point to make is that the recordings will be made available on the Academy and the Eurocase websites after the event. Once the recordings have been published, we will send the viewing links to all attendees, so you'll be able to watch all of this again if you'd like to. So, to formally open our conference, I would like to introduce Professor Sir Jim MacDonald, the President of the UK's Royal Academy of Engineering, followed by Professor Tu Lethierry, the President of Eurocase.
Dear friends and colleagues, on behalf of the UK's Royal Academy of Engineering, I'm delighted to welcome you to this year's annual conference of Eurocase, the European Council of Academies of Applied Sciences, Technologies and Engineering. This year's conference focuses on the theme of engineering to build back better. And the phrase build back better has indeed been used extensively in recent times, and arguably perhaps it's even been overused. However, there is no doubt that the events of the past 18 months have given us an opportunity to take stock and consider whether we are indeed on track to build a society that is increasingly sustainable, resilient and inclusive. This Eurocase conference will help us consider the role that our community of European engineers, researchers and innovators can play in delivering this future. These themes are central to our Academy's goal to harness the power of engineering for a sustainable society and inclusive economy. I'm delighted that over the next 2 days, we will have the opportunity to share some of our Academy's work in these areas, from our net zero engineering policy advice to our Engineering X Safer Complex Systems programme, and of course, to have the opportunity to hear and learn from the innovative work going on across Europe. We are incredibly conscious that these challenges go beyond national borders and that international collaboration, particularly in research and innovation, will be essential in tackling them. As the UK engineering community, we are strongly committed to continuing to build strong and fruitful partnerships with our European colleagues as we seek to build a more sustainable, resilient and inclusive future. Eurocase has an enormously important role to play, bringing together the engineering community across Europe and providing them with a strong voice and route to inform and engage with policymakers on these key themes. I'm sure that this event will be an excellent opportunity to share experience, expertise and ideas across the European engineering community as we collectively seek to build back better. And I also look forward to seeing the outputs from what I know will be a highly relevant and stimulating conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jim, and thank you very much, Royal Academy of Engineering. And also welcome on my behalf to the 2021 annual conference of EuroCase, this time focusing on the theme Building Back Better. And building back we need indeed after the pandemic, which has challenged the entire world, but also taught us to use digital channels for the meetings as we are doing today. Clearly we want to and need to meet in person, but these digital means also allow us to meet more often in a sustainable fashion to manage our day-to-day business, especially vitalizing our international collaborations. The COP26 meeting aiming to unite the world to tackle the climate change has only just finished, so we can now start to assess whether such a commitment was reached. And I would say not yet. There are still gaps between countries that are behind the net zero agenda and will take action, those that are delaying the agenda and those that will be the first to suffer the consequences of delaying the agenda. So it is of course disappointing that India, among other countries, in the very last moment managed to change the wording from phase out to phase down of coal and fossil fuel subsidies. There will be consequences for this decision. Some of the other decisions, though, of the COP26 are historical, and they're demonstrating increasing awareness of the urgency of the actions that are needed. The decisions that focus on research, education and innovation to tackle the climate change are particularly relevant for the engineering academies and engineering communities. It is in those areas where engineering academies can make a difference by providing independent advice to governments on what type of actions are likely to lead to workable solutions. And the academies also have an important role in explaining why engineering and new technology are so crucial to the global response to the climate change, or the crisis, as we should say. And due to our strong networks of engineering academies all over the world, we can and must also promote inclusive innovation. These grand challenges only can be won by collaborations across all borders. All regions of the world really need to be part of the solutions. So our academies represent high level of expertise in the member countries and can contribute to sustainable development by sharing knowledge and expertise worldwide. We can contribute significantly to translating the ambitions and decisions of, for example, COP26 into action, building back better, as we say here today. So I want to once more thank Royal Academy of Engineering for excellent job in shaping the current program and by inviting us all to nominate speakers, as we say, all over Europe. I do want to highlight the importance of the EuroCase conference as an international forum for sharing insights and inspiration, and an excellent opportunity for us to come together as proud Europeans. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to both Sir Jim and Professor Thierry for welcoming us all so warmly to today's event. I'd also like to take this opportunity to briefly introduce our event co-chairs. So that is Professor Adisa Azapagic and Professor Rick Parker. So over to you, Adisa.
A warm welcome from me as a co-chair of this EuroCase hosted by the Royal Academy of Engineering. I hope you'll agree with me that this is a very exciting time for engineers and engineering, with many opportunities to build back better. I hope that the conference program both reflects that excitement and will provide a stimulating environment to discuss how we as engineers can work together with other disciplines and professions towards a more sustainable future. I wish you a very successful and enjoyable conference. And just before I hand over to my co-chair to welcome you, let me thank Nicola and the team at the Academy for their excellent work on making this conference happen. Thank you.
So let me finally add my welcome. It's a great pleasure to have you all here, and I'm just sorry we couldn't physically get together for what's always a great event in my calendar, the EuroCase conference. I'm a treasurer of EuroCase, so I look after the bookkeeping for them, and it's been great fun pulling this conference together. We have a fantastic list of speakers, as Tula said, from all parts of Europe, and addressing three major topics for society, not just for engineering, over the next day and a half. So I hope you enjoy it, and like my co-chair, I will just add my thanks to the fantastic staff at the Academy who've done so much to pull this together. Thank you all.
Many thanks to you both.